Imagine walking into a house where every wall whispers secrets. A cozy home, roses blooming outside, and a sweet old grandma smiling at the door. But upstairs, behind one creaky door, lies a room no one dares to rent. Tonight, someone finally moves in, and what happens next will make you question whether the house is alive or hungry. Bang! 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 The sound echoed through the quiet hallway of Grandma's old wooden house. Everyone in the neighborhood knew Grandma's place. It was the kind of house that smelled of freshly baked bread, had lace curtains on every window, and a garden full of roses that seemed to bloom all year round. But behind that cozy charm, there was something unusual happening. Grandma had put up a sign, "Room for rent." It wasn't just any room. This was the upstairs bedroom, the one with the creaky floorboards, the antique mirror, and the window that overlooked the entire street. For years, it had been locked, almost like a secret chamber. And now, for reasons nobody understood, Grandma was opening it to strangers. The knock on the door that evening was from the first person who answered the ad. A young man, nervous, clutching a suitcase. His name was Daniel. He had no family nearby, no money for fancy apartments, and no idea what he was walking into. Grandma smiled warmly, but her eyes sparkled with something mysterious. "Welcome, dear. Let's see if you're the right fit for this house." Daniel moved in the next day. At first, everything seemed normal. Grandma cooked him hearty meals, told him stories about her youth, and even knitted him a blanket. But the house had secrets. At night, Daniel heard whispers in the hallway. The antique mirror in his room sometimes showed shadows that weren't his. The roses in the garden seemed to wilt whenever he thought about leaving. One evening, Daniel asked Grandma, "Why did you decide to rent this room after all these years?" Grandma paused, her hands trembling slightly as she poured tea. "Because the house chooses who stays. And it told me it was time." Daniel laughed nervously, thinking it was just an old woman's superstition. But deep down, he felt the house watching him. Weeks passed, and Daniel grew more curious. In the corner of his room sat a locked trunk, covered in dust. Grandma never mentioned it, but Daniel couldn't resist. One stormy night, lightning lit up the room, and Daniel decided to open the trunk. He found letters written decades ago, all addressed to Grandma. A faded photograph of a man standing in front of the same house. A diary with entries that spoke of the room's curse. The diary revealed that Grandma's husband had once rented the same room to travelers. But every tenant mysteriously disappeared. Some left in the middle of the night, others were never seen again. The last entry read, "The room demands loyalty. It keeps those who betray it." The next morning, Daniel confronted Grandma. "What happened to the people who lived here before me?" Grandma's face turned pale. "They didn't respect the house. They tried to take without giving. The room doesn't forgive greed." Daniel realized the whispers, the shadows, the strange feeling. It wasn't just imagination. The house was alive. That night, the room tested him. The mirror showed him visions of wealth, fame, and escape. A voice whispered, "Leave, Grandma. Take the trunk. Run." But Daniel remembered Grandma's kindness, the meals, the stories, the warmth. He resisted the temptation. Instead of running, he locked the trunk again and whispered back, "I choose to stay." The whispers stopped. The roses bloomed brighter than ever. The house seemed to sigh in relief. From that day forward, Daniel and Grandma lived in harmony. The house accepted him. The whispers turned into gentle lullabies. The mirror reflected only his own face. Grandma finally revealed the truth: the room isn't cursed. It's protective. It only wants someone who values family, loyalty, and love. You passed the test. Daniel smiled. He had come looking for a cheap place to stay, but he found something far greater: a home, a family, and a bond that no curse could break. The sign outside was taken down. No more room for rent. The house had chosen its tenant. And so, Grandma's house became more than just a place to live. It became a story, one that Daniel would carry forever, a reminder that sometimes the scariest rooms hide the most beautiful secrets. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, it really helps this channel grow. And if you love mysterious tales like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss the next secret revealed. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, I'd love to hear what you think about Grandma's house. Until next time, stay curious, and stay tuned.